Hello, YouTube land. Check your clocks because it's amateur rapper time. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Justice for All. In the last episode, we were going through court. We interrogated Will Powers. He said some revealing stuff about Shelly the killer and him being Matt Ungard being his client. So a lot of stuff is kind of bad for Phoenix right now. But then we got a call from Gumshoe saying that he has some pieces of evidence and he's on the way. So we're kind of waiting for him. We have to drag out the trial as much as we can so we can get these pieces of evidence. And maybe, hopefully, there's something here. So we last left off right here, and we're just going to continue onward. Hopefully, we'll get this case done. I think we're nearing the end. So if we're lucky, this might be a finale. If we're not, then we'll just leave it off on another video. So I'm just doing another Phoenix Wright, only because my voice still isn't recovered well to do Danganronpa quite yet. Almost. Not. I just don't want a wheezy Monokuma. That's all. Everything else is fine. It's just Monokuma I'm worried about. So one more, and hopefully it'll be good by then. So we'll just jump right into this episode and see what happens next. So leave a like for Phoenix Wright, leave a like for these two guards, leave a like for Edgeworth and Gumshoe, who's on the way. So here we go. Oh, something just happened. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me. No one can stop me. Oh, snap. Wow, I really left it off on a big part. What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. No. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken, and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No, we can't let that happen. Well, if there's a way we can find out where he is, then we can stand a chance. Why oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? Yes, there is, actually. That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Yeah, Franziska von Garma. Why are you bringing up Franziska at a time like... Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. Franziska. Will she even want to help us? Edgeworth? What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict? Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff. There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. All right. To be continued. Wow, I left it off on another hanging thing, huh? Oh, well. Let's save then. Boink. 4-2, trial. So this is the final part of the trial. Oh boy. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impacts herself. It was a fake. Ah, so Impacts didn't write a note. Order. Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impacts, then who wrote it? We need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, It appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corda. Mr. Corda? Well, it looks like Miss Impact never left the suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Ungard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Ungard could not have known that, so that fact remains unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it.
That does sound very plausible.
This theory that Ungard had no idea that suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Yeah, there is. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Ungard to not have known it was a fake. Because he was spying on him. Right?
What is this little item called again?
A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but...
Oh, that's right. A camera. Oh, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays.
Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Ungard knew the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Ungard would have known about the victim had forged the note.
So then the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation is suddenly changing in a very dramatic light.
Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Ungard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Ungard monitored Mr. Corda 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Ungard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery in an unknown place? Ugh. Got him.
Order. Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave.
As I figured.
Huh? As you figured?
As I figured, it came down to this after all.
Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense.
When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Ungard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle.
Well, I agree with you there.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time.
Oh, well, that's fine.
However, this witness is a little unusual. And for stuttering, this is not like him at all.
Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of, who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder? That's impossible. No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness?
It's,
Yes, go on, who is it?
The man himself, Mr. Shelley the killer.
Oh, Mr. the Killer. Wait, Shelley the Killer?
Oh, here we go.
You mean the killer? I mean the assassin?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's coming here, to the witness stand.
Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Yes?
Is this alright with you?
Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor.
I wonder if it really is alright to do this.
Very well then. The prosecution calls the witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Oh, jeez. Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please. Oh.
Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I'm a professional assassin.
I say, what is going on here?
Your Honor?
How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio?
Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about.
Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure it's really Mr. the Killer himself.
Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelley the Killer.
I understand. Please wait a second.
I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya!
A voice? Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this?
The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer.
Looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so...
Now then, witness, there is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else.
And what would that be?
At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Correa. Is this correct?
It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Correa.
Now that we... Sorry. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client.
Very well.
This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream.
Shelley the Killer. What is he going to say? About my client. Oh boy, please do something.
There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on the witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client.
Okay.
Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I almost say he seems to be mocking us.
While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief.
You mean about his trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. Okay. Drink of water. Let's go. Alright, so I guess we press him on everything because I don't really see anything incriminating. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients?
I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means?
Sorry. Go on.
Well, it appears this is one witness you got badger, Mr. Wright.
That's only because you don't know about Maya's situation. Aw. Poor guy. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. Hold it. The trust between you and your client?
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome.
And that is why you're testifying in this manner?
This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me.
But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust?
If this ever happened before, but if it ever did,
Yes?
that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly...
That's enough, please, no more.
Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway.
And that's the reason I'm here today as a witness stand. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role.
Their role?
This person tried to implicate another in a crime in order to save themselves, and this trespass cannot be forgiven.
Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty?
To the gentleman who just spoke just now. Excuse me, but would you care to die?
No, I didn't say anything.
The judge had better watch himself. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name to my client. Okay? We understand, so please tell us the name of your client.
I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do.
Ugh, that egomaniacal.
It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you.
Somehow, that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all the extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Patience, try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. Right? Well, I pressed him on, I guess. Press him again. So, I already did this, though, right? Oh, this is new. Okay. Wow, this is a complete guess. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules.
A person who frames another is the worst kind of human.
And that's why you feel you can betray this person?
I have no trust relation with a client who can understand their assigned role.
Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured?
Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic?
This case just keeps getting better and better.
If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed.
Everyone understands your point, I think. Really.
In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek.
You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready.
Excellent.
And that is the reason I'm here today on the witness stand.
Now then, I do believe it's about time I revealed the name of my client. Don't you agree?
Please?
What is it?
Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask him, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness! What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corda?
That person's name is... Adrian Andrews.
What? Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier.
Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews.
What? Oh no. This can't be! On the phone earlier! What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an evidence in this court, an audience, not evidence, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Matt Ungard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie.
But you were the one who summoned this witness.
You Shelley the Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Ungard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal.
Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. Yikes.
The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all.
No.
With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Ungard is innocent.
Oh dear.
I seem to cause you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue your discussion and call me when you've reached a verdict.
Beep. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately.
What now? With the way this is going, Ungard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And Ungard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this?
Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant?
Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the Killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews? The suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason someone's died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and the button, donning the nickel samurai costume,
But that's...
You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste's impact was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No, Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please. Help me. Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
I had to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Request the trial continue. We gotta get that evidence. Phoenix? I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept I'm not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt Ungard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Ungard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I know now the real truth. He could have gotten Ungard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it till now. I trust him? Yes, you do.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please?
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right.
But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth, that is my job, Your Honor. Heyo. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Very well. The trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer.
Right away, Your Honor. All right.
Has a verdict been reached?
Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more.
About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for?
Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done?
But what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail.
You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court?
All right. About my client, part 2.
As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corda was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules.
I don't know about that. Nah, that's a lie, actually.
This is the most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now? However, this time everything has finally been revealed.
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here.
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then
I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
That makes 2 of us. But I think I actually found out the lie already, so... Because if I remember from some episodes ago, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that he was dead. Which is not the case because she poured him a glass of juice because she thought he had fainted. Objection, yes. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. the Killer.
What is the meaning of that attitude?
When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corda had been murdered.
But how? How do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass?
Mr. the Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Corda had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind.
I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what's your question? Oh, not your question. What is your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain that strange phenomenon?
Isn't it a waste of time to ask such about a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct?
I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corda's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all.
How strange.
Yes?
Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation?
Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Objection! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry.
Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you.
They're just like, they're playing this out. They're like dragging it. They're dragging the court. Anyway, I am positive that there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken.
Very well.
Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of the trial lies within those items. Yep, we gotta get them items. Request taking. Okay.
This request came to me about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes.
Okay.
So you physically met your client, huh?
That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Okay. I didn't really see anything give the gabos. So, we met at a certain bar. A bar? What bar? So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right?
Of course I did.
What was that? What was that brief pause? Press further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details.
I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail.
And why is that?
That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking for them in the eye.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now any of any importance?
I actually didn't find anything, so no. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions.
What do you mean by that?
My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? Oh.
I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him.
Oh, and that was it.
That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client.
It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Yes, it was. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Huh? Really?
If that's the case, witness, please don't include the statement just now in your testimony.
Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client.
Incorrect. Adrian is a woman. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time.
Yes, that is correct.
And that's when you thought he was trustworthy.
How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct.
I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale.
What?
Shelley the Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews.
Why would you say that?
Because you made one very big slip up about her.
So what is the issue? What did you just say just now about her?
If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she was a woman.
Ugh.
Yes.
Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
This witness testified to the following, that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their requests.
But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. That means Mr. Tequila's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews.
Oh,
He's sweating oil.
Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake?
I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor.
Her name?
Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous? Androgynous? Is that how you pronounce it? Androgynous name. Oh, so it's like unisex, basically. Like, Robin, Chris. Shoot, we'll just go Fire Emblem. Byleth. Corrin, I suppose. Also, speaking of that, what I learned in Japan, Makoto is unisex too. Because Makoto Naegi from Danganronpa, and then Makoto Nijima from Persona 5. I learned that, unless that's not true, and that was just a coincidence, but Makoto might be a unisex name in Japan. Unluckily for Mr. Tequila, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender, and so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with, because Adrian is most likely a guy name.
What? What is going on? Shelley the Killer. This court demands an explanation.
I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another.
So does that mean you remember something different now?
Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more.
I know he's just going to spit out more lies.
Very well, but this time, please give us the truth, and nothing but the truth.
The truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corda and two or three small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
So you took this job through a letter.
He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination.
Alright, so first thing, I'm about to drive nails into this assassin. First off, I want to know about the 2 and 3 other things. 2 or 3 other things?
Yes,
And what were these other things?
a few other things that have nothing to do with this case.
What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I push his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Press further, I don't care. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes?
everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
That's...
I smell the stench of a backstabber, and should you turn out to be one,
Wait! Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. All right, I had to think. Is this worth pursuing? Yes. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were.
If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And where was that figurine?
It was inside Mr. Corda's suitcase.
And then what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony.
As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews.
Hold it. I found this figurine at Mr. Ungard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what is it doing there?
I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Ungard, I'm sure.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony?
Yes, I do. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews. But I know somewhere in that statement there's a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? Present evidence. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Ungard Mansion. Is that correct?
Yes. Where are you going with this?
Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly.
What?
This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear because of the note. Shelley the killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it.
This item?
I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going.
Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Yep.
Order. So that's where you two were going.
So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Which means?
It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Ooh. Shelley the killer's nervous. Let me get another drink of water. All right. I'm ready.
Order.
Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must have wished to break your end of the argument.
No, that's not...
That's enough. If that's your intention, there is only one thing for me to do.
Wait, please.
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
No, please, not that. Please wait.
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end or I may stay my hand. Otherwise...
What in the... Mr. Wright, are you? Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor?
I didn't understand this witness outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... The prosecution,
What has come over everyone? Even you all.
The prosecution rests.
What is going on around here?
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What?
Wow, this is really bad.
Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that's the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
if I end the trial here right now, then your client, Matt Ungard, will be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder.
Miss Andrews would be charged with murder.
The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Ungard, to the stand.
The items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Oh, jeez.
Did the old guy finally decide? Well, to be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent.
Ha!
Here he comes.
So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Mr. Ungard?
What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. Isn't that refreshing like a spring breeze crap? It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer?
Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? You better get Ungard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. Ugh. It all hinges on what I choose.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Ungard, is innocent.
There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want. Aren't you?
Right? I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Ungard, is...
Guilty?
Oh God, did I make a wrong decision?
We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Ungard, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Ungard is... Oh my God. The savior. Francisco von Karma. Jesus.
What are you doing? Oh!
You'll see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence in here is in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside of this.
What a filthy old coat this is.
That's Gumshoe's. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there's nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence.
Your final evidence?
God, this is good. This is very good.
This trial is already over. All that remains for me is to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial.
What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Ms. Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will be not accepted by the court. Now, Ms. Von Karma, if you please.
These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police.
It must have been quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around, like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. Alright. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? I don't think so. More details are not needed. I'm pretty sure there was no gun involved in this case. There's no real benefit to hearing about it. Please present the next piece of evidence. Alright. Nothing else is known. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from Unguarded Mansion. Question more. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh, yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Surely the killer is no ordinary man. Alright. One of the items received, the killer violently tried to recover it. Contents unknown. The last piece of evidence is his bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? I don't think we need to know about that either. I don't think this is going to help us much at all. Thank you very much, Ms. Von Karma. I think that's enough. Okay. That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
It's just as I thought.
And? What is that, Your Honor?
I'm sure we were under normal circumstances. These items from Shelley the Killer's hideout will be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is who is the client.
Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Ms. Von Karma. You may step down now.
Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict.
Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he?
Is this the end? Phoenix? I knew it. There is no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2? The first, make Unguard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Unguard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way, force the killer to end his contract with Unguard. If the killer will no longer think of Unguard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his client above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces that he just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean To turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge, we have seen all the pieces of evidence, and that is how we've come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no objections in this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict.
Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Objection.
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence.
I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor.
Then you want to show the evidence to that person?
Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance.
One chance?
Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
That's impossible! To turn this situation around in one try.
One try. That is all I will permit.
I have to try and remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking on guard down at the same time.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save right here.
Who would you like to show this evidence to?
To the killer, yes.
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person.
The video.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness.
Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier.
Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right?
Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about the speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence?
Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back.
That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape.
I thought so.
I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape?
I was sternly told by my client to not watch it, so I had absolutely no idea.
Actually, you are on this tape.
Me?
There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded.
What?
Is that true, Mr. Wright?
Who? Who was it that planted a camera?
Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
That was Adrian Andrews.
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you.
I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why.
Why did Matt on guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to blackmail you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said.
But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want.
Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? No!
It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning.
Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness.
Yes?
You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all.
Yes, that's right.
But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then?
That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then
That client would become my next target.
for the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity.
I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment.
Yeah. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around.
Mr. Wright,
Yes?
my contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item.
What the? I'm not an item. Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. Oh my God, she's safe. We did it. Woo!
This trial appears to have come to a conclusion. However, I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness. And Miss Montgomery, wait a minute.
She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Bring him out. Oh, yeah, now he's sweating. Now he's scared. Drink victory water. Yeah. Mr. Ungard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. Before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watched this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please.
Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright?
We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's just no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whatever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. He's not guilty. Congratulations, Mr. Man on Guard. Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty. He's free. I'm sure he'll be fine. No, nothing will happen to him.
Very well. This court finds the defendant Matt on guard.
Hold it. Please wait.
What's the matter?
If I get it not guilty, I'll be killed. I'm no! Guilty! Oh my God. Yeah, he
As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth.
Me? I don't remember you helping out much in this.
Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt on guard?
I have left Miss Montgomery in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of wit leather right about now.
Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness?
Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I have finally been saved. Oh, she's happy now. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Aw, you're welcome. You are welcome.
It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Yay! We did it! Oh my god. Oh, that feels good. You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Ms. Von Karma's arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter.
I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I had to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? My client, Madame Guard, is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right! Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody. Really? Pearls, you're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in the patrol car. Ah, Mr. Maya's safe. You did it. You really did it, Mr. Nick. Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her. Thanks. Oh. What's wrong? Miss Von Karma. About earlier. Thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you! Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I use every dirty trick in the book, so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened. So I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well as you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant, but every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong in his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight the knowledge we hold in everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch, but we will always even eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you. The truth? Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night. Ah, is Mr. Edward right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool! Miss Van Karma? I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser, of uncommon as someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma, and neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Francisca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic transceiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else. Oh, it's her whip. Isn't it Miss Von Karma's whip? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right. Okay. Nate! Oh my god. And with that, guys, with Maya being here, we're going to end off this Happy Fest on the next episode, actually, which which I'm going to believe might be the finale. So, buckle up, guys. This is going to be the final episode. The next one is the final episode of Phoenix Wright Justice for All. And until then, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. Also, comment and subscribe to get new feed on videos and become a member of the Cuckoo Crew today. Also, comment and subscribe to get new feed on videos and become a member of the Cuckoo Crew today. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter, too. I think I already mentioned that, but hey, why not? Follow me on Twitter 2 times. And also tap that bell to get notifications on videos so you'll never miss one from me ever again. But that's going to be it for Phoenix Wright Justice for All. In the next episode, it will be the last episode. And, whoo doggity. This was big. This was very big, but we did it. We did it in the end. So I feel proud of myself, and I hope you guys feel proud too. So until then, guys, have a nice day, have a nice night. Amateur is out.